Guys, it's Saturday and I'm not at work. We're going to St. Arnold's Brewery because it's National Art Car Day, and they have a beer here called Art Car IPA, so it seems like the best thing to do. They're gonna have an art car parade allegedly. It's really cold. It's the first cold day really Houston's had.
And there's dogs in sweaters.
And there's dogs in sweaters. Oh my god, that's all she cares about. But here we go. What do we say at the beginning?
Turn it up, let's go.
Turn it up, let's go.
Turn it up, let's go.
We came here last Saturday and it was packed. It's really cold this week, so there's not remotely as many people here.
Hell yeah, GoPro.
It's the exact same table as last time, right?
Yep.
It's weird. Say hello to YouTube. There we go, yeah.
I got
Oh my god, this fucking...
2012 Pumpkinator. The
It's
best.
disgusting.
The best.
I hate pumpkin beer, it's gross. But it's supposed to be really good. If you're into that, which I'm not. But Christmas ale, it's good. This cheese plate, meat and cheese plate, oh my god. I don't even know what half of this is. Vivian's here too. And yeah, we're gonna eat this. This is gonna be good.
That's weird. I mean, it doesn't taste bad.
What does it look like on the inside?
Funny, it reminds me
I have no idea what this is, but
But it's too small to be a guava.
Ooh.
It has seeds like a...
Oh, that's gross.
It's a pickle on the outside.
Why did you not tell me it tastes like a pickle? I hate pickles. It's gross.
He hates pickles and you're saying it. I love pickles.
Ugh.
I wonder what that is. I've never seen like...
Anyway, if anyone knows what this gross thing is, please comment. It's disgusting. Hey, look what we found.
What's up?
What did you just say?
I'm allergic to chocolate.
And you'll what happens if you eat chocolate? You'll die?
Yeah, but
He's a dog.
Yeah, a dog. Tired of sweater.
Hey, look what we found.
Bro, I'm cold as fuck one time. Hey, what's up, ladies?
I love this brewery. We're gonna go check out the art cars.
Fucking nipples are hard.
Andrew's the only person that didn't get the jacket memo today.
Guys, sorry, you just called me. Text me. Wow, look at this Winter Wonderland over here.
Yeah, Winter Wonderland. She's smart. She dressed accordingly. You have rock hard nipples. I just tripped and spilled beer all over my hand. So good job, me.
Those are all guitar picks.
Yeah,
That's cool.
he's got the legends. Yeah, there's cars. Oh, just pick up.
Yeah, it's a Beetle
Pick up, get it, guitar picks. It's a truck. Ah, it's funny. That's hilarious. Oh, you got your Beatles over here.
I cannot
I like this Day of the Dead though. It's really cool. You got this shark car, I guess. You can see all this. It's just like covered in. I don't want to use the word junk because it's not junk, but it's junk.
like American pickers, man.
Yeah.
This is the things you see at like grandma's house in a room.
Yeah.
Hasn't been touched in
Just
50 years.
glued onto the hood of a car.
Yeah. Good shit. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What's up, Buick?
This one looked better in the daytime. You can't really see it. But this, I didn't even see the eyeball. That eyeball is crazy. It's a monster car. It's just.
There's somebody in this one.
That's cool. There's some more over there. We'll go check them out in a minute. But yeah. Happy Saturday, y'all.
Feel it.
Yeah. It's a furry car. I didn't even notice that. That's. What did you just think that was? What did you just ask that was? I just dropped that. She just asked, "Is that a rhinoceros?" Technically, it's a. If rhinos were dinosaurs. Yeah, this is a big old gay triceratops, you know. So cool. Like, it's not a small triceratops. This thing is big. You drive up there, like, I don't know how you drive this thing down the street. Like, well, yeah, I mean, I know I see how you drive it down the street. I just don't know how you drive it down the street. That's crazy. Shep. Oh, yeah, it's like a stuffed animal. Yeah. So there's your German Shepherd Beetle if you ever want to see one of those. So there you go. We got this. It's just the coolest thing ever. Like, oh. I'm stupid. I didn't know the door opened. Look at this. Look at all this stuff on the door. Like.
There's not a doubt in my mind this has.
Oh, that's so cool. There's a train.
Bro, I had to get a hoodie one time though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, did you buy it?
I fucking bought it.
How much did it cost you?
Bro, it don't matter because it's good for one time for my life. I'm fucking cold. It's nice though.
It's a very nice jacket.
It's only $40. The arm and a leg.
It's totally worth $40.
Yeah, 180.
And you skipped work to be here, right?
Yeah, so I'm in the hole like 200 plus 40 plus $8 for the beer. Yeah, you be good.
It's a good Saturday though.
Hey, we're to the hangout with Kyle Scott.
Yeah, how many times a week do we get Saturdays like this?
As of now, one time. Once.
Just a skeleton car blaring metal. Like, I love it. In front of the actual brewery.
Like one of the most metal things I've ever seen in my life. Like, and I'm a car mechanic. That's
Do you people just came up to Andrew and asked him if he worked here, started asking all these questions.
Sir, the line starts behind them, please. Behind them. Start in 5 minutes.
And we're off on our brewery tour, not led by Andrew. So we're gonna go this way. And so yeah, I'm just gonna let it record and we're gonna see what happens. There's also a step there, guys. Be careful. Is that a taco? What is that?
I think it's a brain. That's what I think.
A brain?
Looks like a brain.
Taco brain. It's
Taco
Texas.
brain.
Same thing. Yeah, you know, same thing.
Alrighty, wow, welcome guys.
Hi.
Until everyone gets here. Here's gotta stand. I need to get one of those. Alright, welcome to the tour. We're about to tour the oldest craft brewery in Texas. We're also the largest producer of craft beer in the state of Texas. Right. We're also probably one of the best. Last year, best mid-sized brewer of the year, which is pretty impressive. That's an award we won at Great American Beer Festival, which is the biggest beer festival in the United States. I have a couple rules in the tour. One, if anyone says cheers, or if I say cheers, more believe me, gotta take a sip of your beer. What's up?
Can't hear you.
All right, I'm gonna talk as loud as I can, you know, I'm gonna try my best. If anyone says cheers on the tour, you gotta say cheers with me, you gotta take a sip. I'm gonna wait till I get my beer to do that, but it works for everybody. Yeah, you'll be done with that pretty quick.
Yeah, we're gonna need another beer.
I'm gonna try to go pretty quick through this tour, because I know I see a lot of people without beers. So you probably wanna get back, get some food, get some beer. But at the end, so questions held to the end. I will stick around and answer anything you want. I love talking about beer, that's why I do this. So that's one of my rules. Questions at the end, 2, that. 3, we're about to go in. This is a working facility. This is a production facility. We're working 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. The stuff you see, it's not Disneyland, you know, it's being used. It'll be, you know, back in Sunday night. We're gonna have brewers here making stuff. So please, just whenever there's any kind of shiny things, any buttons, answer yourself. It's very enticing. Please don't touch them. All right, and last but not least, my name's Will. Thanks for coming. Who is not from Houston here? Raise your hand if you're not from Houston or you don't live here. I see Michigan, right? Where else? Philadelphia, born and raised.
Philadelphia.
Where?
Philadelphia.
It's hard. Awesome. A little farther than everybody else, but so you're probably like, why are all these crazy cars here? What's going on? If you're from Houston, and you may know about it, you may not, the Art Car Parade. This is a big thing we do. This is probably one of the coolest, weirdest things that Houston does. You always see Austin, you know, keep Austin weird. Well, we don't even make cool signs. We are very weird. You see a bunch of reasons why, right? That's our Hippiosaurus. A bunch of stuff. The Art Car Parade is a parade that's being thrown in mid-April of every year. If you want to see about 200 to 300 of these cars drive by while you're drinking beer downtown, eating really good food, go. It's a lot of fun. As we walk up to the building, I want you to check it out, but we're going to talk about it inside where it's a little bit warmer. Arts markets, that kind of thing. We're going to go check it out. Yeah, I just don't want them to be kind of our business.
I want to be in their business. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, Andrew.
It's my pleasure.
And we'll go in there, you see some windows right now. We're gonna go in there in a bit, get a post for all that stuff, so you know, don't worry about it. I'm normally the Sunday, Monday, Thursday guy, or Saturday girl. She's sick, and I have a lot of smaller tours usually. If you want to come see us in production, guys, keep fitting in. There's more people back there, so we can move a little that way, move a little this way, however you want to do it. You know, we gotta get everybody going. Almost there. All right, welcome. This is why we're here, right? St. Arnold's. He was a real man, Bishop of Metz, France in 516 AD. Who is Catholic here? Any Catholics? All right, Catholic friends. How do you become a saint in the tradition?
Be amazing.
It sure be amazing.
And remember.
I'm jumping on there. You have to perform 2 miracles, and you have to be canonized. He did perform 2 miracles, and actually there's pictures of some of his miracles he performed in the beer garden. One of them is when he became a bishop. He took his bishop's ring, threw in the ocean, and said, God wants me to become a bishop. The ring will come back to me. Well, fish eats it. And then a week later, he catches the fish and eats it. He's got my ring. Miracle number 1. The other miracle is he puts out fire, a giant fire. It's way more interesting than that, but I'm going to leave it at that as we want. This painting, though, has a lot of cultural significance. This was done by a guy named Andrei Davidev. Andrei Davidev was a Russian Orthodox priest or an iconographer, so a person that paints paintings of Jesus, Mary, or saints. He's doing these paintings in Russian Orthodox churches because the Soviet secret police uses those churches as meeting grounds. They don't take care of the place very well. He's fixing them up. He gets famous to the point where the New York Times has an article on him. Early 2000s, Brock Wagner, this is our owner. He hears about him, reads about him, sends him an email, and says, hey, we'd love for you to come down, paint St. Arnold's for us. The guy sees work from Houston. That's what catches his eye, these thousands and thousands of emails he's getting. His sister lives in Clear Lake. His sister is a Russian translator for NASA. Yeah, or a Russian spy, we don't know. Nowadays, right? We fly him out, we pay $6,000. $1,000 for this painting, $4,000 for the fresco that's inside by the society members' mugs, and $1,000 for the flight. It was a great investment. When we put this painting up, our sales went up by 38% that year, which is huge for us. So we all have to think it's a blessing from St. Arnold. So someone cheers it for me, because I can't stand left. Cheers. Cheers. There you go. Good group. All right, we're going to see if 20's the elevator, second floor. What are you guys going to tell us?
Don't trust Andrew. Don't listen to him.
It's your birthday.
It's not.
It's my first day here, guys. Sometimes when I come in during the week.
So it used to be like the room. This place used to be packed all the time. Now it's for private events. It's kind of creepy if you've seen it. Quiet, but.
It's Saturday, so it's still Saturdays you can come in. Earlier today, people were in here.
Oh yeah? Oh cool.
But that's the only time. Other than, like I said, not private events. Sometimes we'll do farmers markets in here, and sometimes we'll do arts markets. Like last Sunday, we had a shop local, an arts market. I always get drunk and I spend like $40 on weird salsas and paintings that I don't need. It's fun though. It's the whole point. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the beer hall. This is where it used to go down. We opened that restaurant up about 4 months ago. When we opened that up, this shut down to the public, like I was saying. This side of the building, the brewery side, there's 100 people that work on this side. When we opened up that restaurant, we are at 124 people. So just to give you the scale of who we are, our size. You know, it's a small company. Everyone knows everybody here. If you want to work here, come apply. It's a fun life. You'll probably make a little bit less money than you know, equivalent job, but a lot of free beer. So it depends where your priorities are. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Yeah, I got my beer. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Yeah, I had to hide a beer in here for my tour, so I pick it up. Anyway, so like I said, we're the oldest craft brewery in the state of Texas. We've been around since June 9th of 1994. Fun fact: if you were born on June 9th of 1994, you got free beer for life. They would have a ceremony when you turn 21. People would get plaques. No, you have to have an ID. You can't just be like, hey, oh, it's me. No, there's like a ceremony, and you got like a plaque, and so we know who those people are. Actually met someone that was born that day, and they just didn't come in for the ceremony. Like, oh, I thought, and then like, no, it's kind of sad. I gave him a free beer because he missed out on millions of free beers. Why are we the oldest craft brewery in Texas? Texas is a German immigrant state, right? Germans, this is where modern beer comes from. Beer's had lots of twists and turns, right? Chicha. If you're familiar with chicha in South America, a woman would chew corn, spit it into a bucket. There's a saliva in your, there's a enzyme in your saliva that breaks down starches, and basically it helped the beer get to a place where it can start fermenting. So we would drink these buckets of chewed corn spit to get buzzed. That's one form of beer. Sake is a beer. It's not, I know it's called a rice wine, but it is a beer. It's called a rice wine the same way a barley wine, you know. And also, beer before it was called beer, it was called Gruit, G-R-U-I-T, and that's like the German word for it. And it was basically this kind of very malty, sugary drink that they would throw weird things like pine needles, spices like coriander, peels for like oranges or that kind of stuff. And then the Bavarians started throwing hops in at a certain point to kind of, because hops make things last longer, preserve things, so, but they liked how the bitterness balanced out the beer. We got any IPA drinkers in here? So yeah, that's, you know, everyone like, if you like beer, you like hops. But these guys like hops a little bit more. So going back though to Texas, why? Well, Prohibition, well, that's one reason. 4,000 breweries in the US pre-Prohibition, 200 to 400 breweries in the US post-Prohibition. Prohibition really kind of destroyed the industry. Macro breweries have not been kind to the microbrewing industry. There was a brewery in Texas in the 80s that was growing, made really good beer, and they were selling shares. Well, someone starts accumulating a lot of those shares. That someone ends up being Miller. Miller gets the controlling share of the company, shuts it down, sells it for parts, sells the names and licenses and all the recipes to, I think, a brewery actually in like Chicago or Michigan. So where's those Michigan people? Thanks, guys. And it's actually Celis. Yeah, cheers. Okay, cheers, or whatever. It's actually Celis, if you've heard of Celis. They're back now, actually. The granddaughter of the brewer actually got their licensing back. In the United States, you could not homebrew until 1978. Jimmy Carter changed that with the law. In the state of Texas, you could not buy beer for on-premise consumption until a couple years, more than a couple years ago, but I think around 2011. So the beers we bought today, or we're drinking right now, except for mine, is illegal. That would be illegal. So if you come here before, I think some people are like, yeah, I used to come here before. You go in, you have to pay $10 to get a glass and 4 tokens. That's how we got around it. Because you weren't paying for beer, you're paying for a tour, and you got tastes on that tour. And you could buy more tokens, novelty tokens, which got you more tastes. I'm gonna do a lot of this during this, because we basically were just, that's how we sold beer. And that's if you still go to breweries, you get a lot of places that still do tokens. What?
You still have tokens?
You can still buy, no, we don't all get tokens. I'm not giving like 60 free beers out, no thanks. But if you come on Saturday and if you have tokens, we'll take them here. And I believe you can still buy them if you buy the tour package on a Saturday here. Once again, it's about the same deal as buying a beer. One cool thing about coming on this side though, you don't pay tax on beer.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to no tax. You save 41 cents per beer. We'll cheers to that. You need a beer, friend.
Running out of beer.
So let's keep going. Shiner. Shiner's older than us, right? So we're the oldest craft brewery. What about Shiner? Shiner's not considered craft, they're considered legacy craft. They broke one of the 3 rules to be considered a craft brewery. You have to be small, you have to be independent, and you have to be traditional. What does that mean? There's specific guidelines for that. So to be independent, you have to have one owner. He has to own more than 60% of the company. That guy's Brock Wagner. Anyone know Brock here? You will meet him. You come around enough, you're in Houston for long enough, believe me, you're gonna meet this guy. He's a pretty big staple. He's like Matrix Mac of the brewing world. You heard earlier today for the R-Car thing, you ever see a tall, older, skinny white guy walk around the place like he owns it? That's him. Interesting guy, started brewing in his dorm room at Rice University with his RA and his trumpet teacher. Can't make that up. So they're all brewing together in their dorm room. It's actually kind of supported by Rice. You know, it's back in the day. He's an older guy, so you know you could drink at 18 at the time. He goes on though. While he's brewing beer, he goes on to become an investment banker because he gets a degree in finance at Rice. Right, it's a good school. Gets burnt out on investment banking. You know, who doesn't want to make like a couple $1 million a year, right? It's pain. Comes back and starts the company. Like I said, June 9th in 1994, we keg our first beer. That is Amber Ale. Anyone have any Amber Ale right now? Cheers. Cheers to the Amber. Amber Ale, same recipe as when we started. So if you want to kind of taste the beer that started us off, that's it. A little bit more. So like I said, 60% of the company. We have some investors. That party going on is actually in this place called the Investors Pub and Back. And once again, if you work around Houston, you'll be in there eventually. A lot of companies throw parties back there. We have like 200 investors. But it's one guy. This guy owns the place. He's setting the direction, the pace of our company. A good example of that is our Orange Show. Who's drinking Orange Show? Nobody? I'm gonna cheers because I like Orange Show. Orange Show was supposed to come out about 8 months ago, and it came out 4 months ago. The reason is it was in packaging. It was in shipping and receiving, ready to get sent out. Brock opens up a can, takes a sip, says, "This is too bitter. Does not have enough orange flavor." Throws that whole batch out. The whole batch is one of those big tanks in there we're about to go see. A lot of beer, thousands of beers, right? He throws out 2 batches. You know, being independent, you can do that. We don't have shareholders saying, "Hey, you need to make some return on your investment." It was about the quality. And it was a great thing because our employees got all the beer. You know, and so that month I took 240 Orange Shows home. Yeah, it was a good time. But that's who he is. Our Adam beer. Who's familiar with an Adam beer here? Okay, not too many people. I get probably one person raise their hand every month. And Adam beer is a German smoked ale. So think of if you had a barley wine, if you had a big, thick, darker beer, like around 10, 11%. Think like that, except you're drinking a glass of pure smoke. Tastes like bacon. Tastes like brisket. Now Houston is 735 degrees half the time, you know, outside. That's Fahrenheit. I don't know the Celsius conversion. Does that sound appetizing or appealing when you're sweating your stuff out outside, a big glass of that? Probably not. It's a good beer. It's great for weather like right now, which is 3 days of the year. But it's not a beer. There's no focus group saying, hey, make smoky beers, make an Adam beer. You know, we're not gonna. It was never gonna market or sell the best. It was a great beer. It was a great homage to a style that was popular for the Pilsner about 300 years ago. We took that beer, and if you like bourbon, anyone like bourbon here? Mm-hmm. Cheers. Cheers to you guys. I wish I had some bourbon right now. It's a nice second though. We took that beer, we threw it in bourbon barrels, aged it for 1.5 years. And if you like bourbon, you know smoky flavors and bourbon go very well together. That's our Bishop Barrel 17. They might have it on tap still right now. If they do, I think that's one of my next beer. That's what independence gets you. You know, that's what independence gets you. That's who we are. We're gonna keep making the beers we want to do, you know, because we love craft. Like I was saying, you want to work here? Probably need a little pay cut. You'll drink a lot of free beer. We're all here because we love craft. We have a PhD microbiologist in our lab. We have a biochemist. A lot of our brewers are engineers, like process engineers, things like that. Here because they love craft. That's who we are. So that's independence, right? That's one of the rules to be craft. 2, you gotta be small. What does it mean to be small? A keg. Everyone familiar with the keg here? Good, because we're doing keg stands next. Just kidding. I shouldn't tease you guys about that. I didn't say that. I know, right? I'm sorry. I apologize. A beer barrel. This is our unit of measurement in the beer world. A beer barrel is made up of 2 kegs, so this is about 31.5 gallons. Those big tanks in there, those hold 240 beer barrels. Right? And a gallon is 128 ounces, 12 ounces in a beer, you know, 12 to 16 ounces of beer. So you have to make under 6 million beer barrels a year to be considered craft. Right? That's set by Sam Adams. So Sam Adams, that's where they're at, pretty much. We made 69,000 last year. We are not close to that at all. But what does that mean, right? I'm just throwing numbers out. It's kind of hard to conceptualize what I'm talking about. They're down the street. If you go down Tandem bit, there's a big bud factory. Okay? Last year, they produced about 13 million barrels of what they call beer. But that's a different than scale, right? Anheuser-Busch InBev, their whole North American operation, so Budweiser's North American, 100 million every year. 69,000 versus that. And I said we are the largest producer of craft beer in the state of Texas. Below us is Real Ale, and below them is Deep Ale. That's small, so independent, small. Number 3, last one, you gotta be traditional. It'll be traditional. Your first beer, amber ale, can only have 4 ingredients: malt, hops, yeast, and water. These ingredients come from a German food law. It's a German period law of 1516 called the Reinheitsgebot. All right, you guys say it with me? Reinheitsgebot. Thank you. Thank you. This is the only guy. Cheers to you, man. Thank you.
Don't encourage that. Don't.
I am. Love it. Most of our beer is Reinheitsgebot. It only has those 4 ingredients. If you have an orange show, it has period blood orange in it. If you had our Pumpkinator, it has period pumpkin and spices. This beer I'm drinking, Endeavor, it's our double IPA, 9%, very good if you like this kind of beers. We put brown sugar in it. That's what brings up the alcohol content. That's why it's 9% and a pretty well-balanced, hoppy double IPA. You cannot have rice or corn in your beer to be considered craft. Now, probably a few of you guys are like, oh man, I love rice in my beer. That's a great flavor. No? Okay, good. That's how you get beers that end in the word light, ultra, that kind of stuff. That's how they make 100 million barrels a year. Our beer is not light. Pretty sure I'm about to consume like 300 calories in this glass right here. So sorry if anyone's on a diet. Craft beers, calories taste good. I don't know what to tell you. That's our history, our past. That's kind of the, you know, the boring talking stuff. We're about to go into the brewing process. Okay. Everyone still with me? Yep. Cheers. Cheers. The no touching rule kind of comes into play in here, and kind of the talking as well. This room's super echoey. It smells like Mexican. Yeah, if you're looking in here, you're seeing some other beers, Galveston Island Brewing. Really good brewery, let's get there, Galveston Island. The big beer is Tiki Wheat, recommend you try it, sometimes you see them. They came in here.
Tiki Wheat. is gross. Don't listen to this guy.
Like I said, that we're independent craft. We support any independent craft breweries. Once you sell out, we don't care about you anymore. Carl. But everyone else, yeah, we want to see them succeed. We want them to do well. If you come during the week and you see us brewing beer, it's very hot in here. I said it's not hot right now, but normally if you touch this, it'll hurt you. Hops, malt are over there. If you're not familiar with them, I'll hold them up for you guys. Malt. All right, if you're drinking at Christmas ale, drinking a Santo, anybody drinking Christmas? You notice how it's a darker color, right? It's going to have darker malt in it. That's what's giving kind of that sweetness on it. That's what's giving the more full body malt. Right? This is the good stuff. The basis of beer is where the alcohol is going to come from, where the sugars come from this. Right? So lots of different kinds of malt. We get a lot of stuff from Germany, Munich, Belgium. We get some in the United States. Anheuser-Busch and Bev, they kind of control over the barley game. Yeah, malt's mostly barley, right? But you can have rye, wheat. They said rice and corn kind of count. Yeah, they control it because they buy so much that farmers, you know, they get to, yeah. There's a whole thing with that. I don't want to get into that. I'll talk for hours about how they're jerks. Hops. If this looks familiar to you, it's because, oh, it's not the pellets. The pellets do it. On top of the flour. Hops are a coral-shaped flour. They're used to preserve things. Very ADD. Hops, coral-shaped flour, used to preserve things. If it looks familiar to you, it's because it's cousins to cannabis. I don't know, I've never seen that before, but they're in the same family. Very interesting. Going back to that too, Canada, first time a beer has been made specifically from cannabis. It contains THC. Interesting. Water. You seen this before? I don't know why we haven't flavor that. We use delicious use of tap water in our beer. That's where all that good flavor comes from. Just kidding. We use reverse osmosis to remove all salts and minerals from the water. Good water purification. If you're not producing, be careful with tap water. It's 500 parts per million of solid in our tap water. It's not the best.
What's another one?
Yeah, that's right. This is supposed to be yeast. Yeast is the next part, right? So we got these. Use your image. We're gonna use it in. When they put it in, it's in liquid form. Brewing process. You guys ready? Quick cheers. Gonna talk fast here. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Malt. It's going to come from the bottom floor to the top floor through an elevator. It's a grain elevator. When we walk to those two kind of blue pipes we walk by, I should have pointed them out, but when we walk by, we'll point out again. Just those two blue pipes, they have a chain, they bring grain to the top floor, where there's a mill. The mill has these rollers that are going to grind up the grain, and it's going to come down that pipe right there. That pipe is called a hydrator. It's called a hydrator because it's two pressure pipes that shoot water at about 150 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, where all stuff's going to mix, the grain's going to mix and mash, right? It's what's called the mash kettle, or the mash tun. What's going on is the grain is steeping in hot water for about 45 minutes to 90 minutes. The starches in the grain are being broken into saccharides, simple sugars. So the first process, that first tank, what's going on, basically you're making a big pot of super wet oatmeal. We want the water, we do not want the grain, we don't want the physical parts. We take that whole mix and put it in the next tank. Now this liquid, the liquid part of this is called wort, W-O-R-T. It's going to come in here, yeah. So down, after 45 minutes, 9 minutes, comes in here. It's all of it though. So it's the physical grain, it's the liquid. We want to separate the wort, the liquid, from these solids, right? So basically it's a big filtration system. There's a false bottom in there, so all the liquid's going to come through the bottom, and then kind of mix around the grain to get as much liquid as we can from it. We take the physical grain, we give it to a farmer twice a week. Recycling. After that, 3.5 hours in here, long time. Skips the third tank, goes to the fourth tank. That's where we have hops. That's where we have adjuncts. Adjunct being right, the pumpkin, the orange, the sugar for my beer. That's actually where the sugar for root beer gets added as well. Often we brew a root beer here. You throw in hops at the first minute of the boil, and we're throwing the pellets, right? We're not throwing in necessarily these. Only for special beers, we're doing like whole hop flours. First minute, those are your bittering hops. So your IPA people, your pale ale people, you're getting those nice bitter flavors. That's some early hop additions. Mid hop additions to the boil, so like 20 minutes in, 30 minutes, depending on your. That's what you're gonna flavor it with. If you're drinking 5 Dog Pills, which is our smash, small single house, we use the sauce up, you're gonna get a lot of earthy, spicy, peppery flavors in that. Very tasty beer, I love that beer. You know, hops have lots of different flavors. So I always get questions, I want a honey beer. It really doesn't mean anything. It's like going to a winery and be like, give me a gravy wine. Okay. Sorry. I ran too much, obviously. When you throw hops at the very end of the boil, you're getting more aromatics. So basically just smell, you know? Maybe a tiny bit of flavor. After that, the boil, it's gonna shoot into the whirlpool. Spins around, all the junk, all the particulates, going to kind of group up in the middle. It's another filtration system, essentially. We're getting all the particulate out of there. You can go in hops in that phase as well, and that's going to be purely aromatic. So hops can go in there as well. The only time hops will not be added, mash and lagering. After that, it can be added at any phase in the brewing process. Yeah, after it fills it out, it goes down through a wort chiller. So we got to chill it, because we have yeast at this point. Yeast is a living organism, it will die. Then we're going to go down there and see the rest of the process. As we walk down, though, there's that wooden plaque right there. It says Cloister Brewery, right to the That is the exact pronunciation. Thank you. That's actually where these brewery kettles came from. They were. Alright guys, welcome to the tank farm. This is where the magic happens. This is where we're going to get alcohol production and CO2 production. The wort, it's been chilled. It's all clean and nice. It's going to go down. It's going to fill the tanks up from the bottom. This is where we're going to add yeast. Throwing ale yeast. There's two kinds of beers, two categories, right? I mean, there's the stouts, there's pilsners, there's all this kind of, brown ales, amber ales. There is ales and there's lagers. Every beer falls under that category. Mostly, that's the generic, what I would say. But, so if you add an ale yeast, we're making an ale, let's say do an amber ale. We're adding a top fermenting yeast. That means it starts at the top, it eats sugars on the way down. The byproduct of this yeast eating sugar is CO2 and alcohol, and by byproduct I mean basically farting and peeing alcohol and CO2 out. So yay, cheers to that. Ales like to be at about 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's when you get kind of the better flavors from that ale yeast. 2 weeks, ales are quick, you knock them out. Lagers, bottom fermenting yeast. Once again, each sugars on the way up, this is CO2 and alcohol. 6 weeks, and they like to be, lager yeast likes to be at about 50 to 60, so a little bit cooler. So lagers, longer time, cooler temperature, bottom fermenting yeast. Yeah, concert going on there, man. Come on, we gotta wrap this up. Check out what's going on out there. After the beer's done, so 2 weeks to 6 weeks between an ale or a lager. And once again, depending on the beer, right? You can do a Belgian quad. It's gonna take a lot longer. Gonna go down those pipes right there. Every beer goes through centrifuge. Get the centrifuge down here for the filtration. Then this goes through a filtration system where we're getting out yeast particles and that kind of stuff. If you look at your beer, you look at my, it looks pretty clear and pretty crisp. That beer's gone through filtration, it's been filtered. If you look at your beer, it's pretty hazy, hard to see through. That means it's selling unfiltered beer. We kind of lie, Pub Crawl is filtered, but we use golden naked oats in it to kind of give it that unfiltered look. And if you're from, anyone like New England IPAs or hazy IPAs here? Raise your hand. This is where the trend is right now. You get on that game. You need to get on the hazy IPA again. We don't make too many of them because our brewers are doing different things, but there's a lot of Spindle Tap that's the big thing right now. Spindle Tap is the big hazy IPA people of Houston. Good style. Spindle Tap cheats though, they use flour to give it that haziness. Goes through filtration, then it goes CO2 injection. We reintroduce CO2 because if you saw that bubbling bucket right there, that's CO2 getting pumped out. So we reintroduce CO2 back into it, then it goes into holding tanks, then it's going to go into production we're about to go into. Before we go though, I want to point out a couple things. There's that reverse osmosis water purification system. You see some barrels right there? Cognac barrels. I don't know what's going in there. I'm very excited. That's going to be fun. What do you guys think, by the way? Which one? 20? That's the 19. 19? 20? Oh, I love 21. So Bishop Barrel Series, that's our, I love all of them, but that's a series of beers that have aged in bourbon, whiskey, cognac, any of those kind of barrels. There's not gonna have any cognac in there. If you did, I'd pop it open, we'd drink some. But the barrel, what's going on is the beer's gonna sit in there, the process called attenuation. The beer's sucking the liquor out of the wood, so you're getting more flavor, the alcohol content's rising, the beer's conditioning in there, changing. She's talking about the 21, I mean the 19 I think that's perfect sale. 21's one of my favorite ones we've done in a long time. It's a Belgian quad, so I think it's very sweet, very, a Belgian quad on its own, it's like 10, 11, 12%. We went through it in bourbon barrels for about a year, so it's up to 12.5. You get this nice, sweet, red kind of thick beer with a nice bourbon kind of bite to it. Oh, I love that beer. Funny thing, our brewer Colin, this is the guy that's head of our barrel aging department. One night he was drunk. Don't tell anyone this story. I go out and he's like, I'm like, man, I'm really excited to try that beer. He's like, get it as cold as you can. And you don't, for big beers, you kind of let them warm up a bit to get more of the flavor. Just get it as cold as you can. You can slam it, you can crush a whole one. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that to a 12.5% beer, you know? And, but I was like, I gotta test this theory out. I went home, it went down so smooth. Oh, that was a great beer. That has nothing to do with anything. St. Sammelmeister. This is not a real saint. I'm sure you guys can figure that out. These tanks, they all have different saint names. They're longtime employees. They're people that influence the beer world, investors. We actually put on eBay, people can name a tank if you bid on it. Well, one of our investors bid $5,000 to name this tank. He named it after his dog. It's awesome, I love it, man. So his puppy kind of lives on forever here, making good beer for us. I think it's pretty cool.
Handcuffs? What are those?
I hate my friend, specifically this one.
When you work in this place, 2 guys run our keg line. So we make 69,000 beer barrels a year. 75% of our sales are in Houston. You go around anywhere in Houston, you're gonna see our beers. 2 guys are making sure those kegs get to. I think that's pretty neat. As we walk on, we're gonna walk by our canning line, we produce 150 cans a minute. We're gonna walk by our bottling line, we produce 120 bottles a minute. Come during the week, you can see us in action. You don't get to come in here. You can see the robot doing stuff, it's fun. And I mean, that's pretty much it. So the beer's can bottled and then it's ready to go. Some people have common questions. Do you guys can more or bottle more? Straight down the middle, pretty much. Our car, which was only in cans, that's our first beer we made that we only did in cans, is in bottles now. Amarillo, our first beer we made that was always in bottles, is in cans now. That happened like a couple weeks ago, and that, to me, it felt almost a little sacrilegious, because that's like one of the first craft beers I ever had. Brock originally said when he opened the place, I'll never can a beer. He also said another, throw fruit in a beer. Glad both have changed, right? All right, like I said, if you want to stick around at the end to ask any questions, feel free to, but I'm going to tell the story of St. Arnold, and then we can skedaddle. St. Arnold, Bishop of Metz, France in 516 AD. He had an important message for people. He said, don't drink water. Water's bad. Drink beer. Beer is a gift from God. Big cheers to that. That's awesome. Cheers. Well, put yourself back there. 516 AD. If you drink water, you would die. People are dumping their sewage into drinking water. They do not understand germ theory. You know, so the people that follow St. Arnold, though, you get buzzed, and then you survive. Yay! Everyone loves this guy. I mean, we all do too, right? But he's also promoting homebrewing. He's saying, you should be able to brew your own beer. The church should not want people brewing beer. Because they control it. They tax it. They say you can sell it, you can buy this ingredients, etc., etc. Really interesting history. St. Arnold passes away at like 30, because that's like when everyone dies back then. And his followers, they want to go bury him in town, exhume him, and honor their friends. So they go to where he's at. He's living in a hermitage at this time. Get his body, they bring him to town to bury him. If you ever carried a dead body before, you know it takes a lot of work, right?
Oh yeah.
Actually, that's a really bad joke. It's never funny. They stop off at a pub, is where this is going. They stop off at a pub. They go to get a beer. There's one beer left at this pub. So, you know, we're going to share this beer amongst ourselves. Say, okay. You know, we're good Christians. Yeah, we're going to share it. Pass it around. So the first guy gets the beer, takes a sip, passes it to his friend takes a sip. All the way around, comes back. This is my beer, I'm not sharing it. There's still beer left. They keep passing it around. Well, they pass it around the entire night because the cup continues to refill. That was the third miracle of St. Arnold. That was the post-mortem miracle of St. Arnold. That is not recognized by the church. That's my tour. Thanks for coming, guys. Sorry for the bad jokes. Hope you learned something today. If you want to stick around and ask questions, feel free to do. If not, we'll show you where to go.
That's a good question. I should have brought that up.
9.5 hours. So from coming out from the hydrator to getting out the wort chiller, that whole room, 9.5 hours in general. Pumpkinator, bigger beer, a lot more sugar. You guys have a private party? Yeah, second floor.
Is it the elevator system?
No, there's a stairs. You want to right? Yeah, there's stairs right here. You can use the elevator right there.
We'll use the stairs. Stop listening to this man. So yeah, Josh was supposed to be here tonight, but he bailed at the last second. What did you just say when I told you that?
Bro, when you told me St. Arnold, I told all my managers at work, I said, fuck this, I'm leaving when the fuck I want. You guys can suck it. I'm going to St. Arnold with Kyle. My favorite place.
Yeah, it's the best.
My fucking favorite place.
It's the best brewery in Texas. It really is. Oh, we got some new art cards though. We're gonna go check these out. Look at that. Oh, see that one with when the lights hit it? That one looks so good when the lights hit it. It's so awesome.
What kind of car is that anyway? Is that one of those new kind of
Oh, they're
cars?
rolling out. They're out of here.
Oh, that's bitchy.
What are you taking? What do you say?
You always bet on black.
Connect 4, let's go.
Brian,
There's Brian, rest in peace. No. It's taking forever. Time.
Oh, fuck.
We're idiots. I've had this win for so long. I won! Woo!
Holy fuck.
Hey, how many times did you lose?
Oh, one time.
No. Apparently no one's ever played cornhole before.
22, 23.
Oh, 20. Oh, yes.
Wait.
What? What is going on?
I don't even know the score anymore.
He's got to nail it. Oh! What? Champion! Yeah! Adios, amigos. She said she didn't want to say it, but I just tricked her into saying adios, amigos. Say it. Say adios, amigos.
Nah,
for the
no
next.
way. Fuck you. One time.